What is up, guys? Welcome. Crypto FUD. And let's jump right into this, guys. What is going on? Philly in the house. Khalil, what's going on? Happy Saturday, guys. Happy Saturday. Hope you guys had a great Friday. Had a productive week. Hope you're having a great weekend. I know, is that Philly? Are you the one that's working on the house? I know I just saw that in the Discord. Well, regardless, hope you guys have a relaxful, if you're not working on a house, weekend, right? What's going on? Gina, Rodney, Larry in the house. What is going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? What is going on? So it looks like, Jasmy, what's going on, bud? Looks like we're getting a little bit of a move in the market right now. Bitcoin right now just got rejected at 58,000 as we speak. And I'm going to give everybody a few minutes just to jump in real quick. Jason, what's going on, bro? Ready a few minutes to jump in. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like. Come on, we got 10 people in here and only 2 likes. Come on. I know we just started, but let's hit those likes up. And today's video is brought to you by High Noon. High Noon. It's good. That's peach fair. Is it peach? It's pear. It's fire. It tastes like sour apple. Rosales, what's going on, bro? No tea today. We're getting sponsored by High Noon now. High Noon is gonna be for today's sponsor. So it is 1 o'clock where I'm at. We're in Florida. My boy Jimmy Buffett always said the same thing. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. All right. So if you're ever thinking, is it too late to have that first drink? Just think about it. Key West, it's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? I was going to say anywhere, but it's somewhere. 5 o'clock somewhere. All right, guys. Let's put everything aside. Let's jump right into this, guys. So like I said, I hope you guys are having a great Saturday. Welcome. Let's jump right into this. So Bitcoin right now is having a nice little run. You guys can see we are at 58,000. It did just technically get rejected at 58. And you can see, look, it just bounced again. Let's zoom in a little bit and see exactly what's going on here. So you guys already know the crypto FUD effect is real, right? It is real. So you're seeing a lot of these projects right now are running Solana 143. Who picked up some Solana down here at 120? Who picked Solana up at 120? Who wasn't scared and was buying the dips like we were talking about? You'd be up 18.5% right now on just that move right now. So we're looking good, guys. We are looking fantastic right now. The market's not looking bad. Let's look at the crypto bubbles for the day, and you can see across the board everything is in the green, obviously, because everything has been freaking beat down to absolutely just to crap, right, in the last like few days. So a day like this, we're going to see a little bit of a recovery. Jasmy's up 16%, Core 20%, Celsius up 12%. I mean, we can go down the list, but you guys can see for a majority of the market, everything is up about 10 or more percent, right? For the hourly, obviously, we're pretty much in the green as well. Some are down for the hour, but for the most part, Notcoin up 7% in the last hour. Ordinals, don't want this thing pumping, but it is up 5% in the last hour. You guys remember yesterday, Ordinals is like the next on the list for me to start accumulating. So we'll see how this goes, but you guys can see bouncing back to Bitcoin. We keep getting rejected at that 58,000, so we'll see how it plays out. But it's good to at least see the market has had somewhat of a recovery. Now we are going to cover some things. We obviously have been covering what has been going on in the market. Why have we been seeing such a big sell-off, sell pressure? It's a combination of things, right? We talked about Mt. Gox. But I personally think Mt. Gox is like 5% of the sell-off, right? Just people getting scared, thinking that Mt. Gox there's going to be a big sell-off, which there's not going to be from them. I really don't believe there's going to be a big sell-off. Really, what I'm thinking is the German government obviously is majority of to blame. So you throw in them actually selling off hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin in the last this past week that we just got out of, right? On top of that, you have people that are just scared that have to amplify the situation, right? So they see the sell-off, they're like, oh, and they start selling off, which causes even more of a downward move, right? So a bunch of paper hands selling, and they're most likely buying right back in right now, right? Now, the German government, I would imagine, clocks out on the weekends, right? It is the weekend, Saturday across the world, right? Unless you're somewhere in like, across maybe on the other side of the world, it might be already Sunday. But still, same thing. Weekend, I'm thinking that the government's probably not doing any kind of sales or anything like that during the weekend. But we have, obviously Monday rolling around. And like I was telling you guys yesterday, just be very cautious when you're buying in, because we could easily continue to see more of a dip, given that they still have a big chunk of Bitcoin, well over $1 billion of Bitcoin that they still have not sold off. We don't know what their intentions are, if they're going to continue to sell, or have they sold maybe 500 million and they're good to go, right? Where they're going to hold off. And maybe we saw yesterday, we read an article about a couple Congress people were writing to the parliament asking them to stop selling Bitcoin and actually hold on to it, right? So maybe we're going to see somewhat of a pause in the sell-off. Who knows? That's the unpredictable. That's what the markets usually don't like. But given our dramatic drop that we've saw in the last 2 days, us particularly for Bitcoin coming down to 53,600, we have seen somewhat of a retracement as of yesterday and today. So it's good to see that this is majority retail investors that are buying in. Also, we're going to cover an article about the ETFs for yesterday and the inflows that came in, basically indicating that a lot of ETF buyers were eating up the dip as well, that's awesome. That's great to see that, market, Wall Street's out there, eating up the dip as well, long-term, hopefully holding. So Owen's in the house. What's going on, guys? Let's see here. Not a big crowd today. Okay. Everybody's, what's everybody doing today? What the hell is going on? What's more important than crypto, guys? What is more important than crypto? Well, we're not going to be long. We're not going to be long at all. So, yeah, so that's pretty much what it is for the market for right now. As far as Bitcoin, we're seeing somewhat of a small pump. I'm not, necessarily sold on we're just going to start running back up towards 70K or anything like that. I mean, if you think about it, we're technically still at around 58,000, right? Last week we were at 64,000. This weekend we're at 58. Where are we going to be at next week, right? We're still in this trend of a downward move. So, take it like I'm telling you. No diddy on that one. Just be cautious. We could still easily see some more downward movement coming up this week. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's just jump right into some of these articles. So Germany and Mt. Gox's Bitcoin sell-off. I'm so sick of freaking talking about this stuff. Likely to mark the market bottom. So Joe, a former Blockware solution analyst and senior product marketing manager at OnChain, forecasts an ease in market conditions only when Bitcoin sell-off pressures from Mt. Gox in Germany abates. Obviously, right? Thank you for indicating that. It's highly likely that highly likely that Germany selling 50,000 Bitcoin will mark a bottom, announcing a sale of a size of its announcing a sale of this is idiotic and creates reflective feedback loop. Let me explain my thoughts. Imagine you're a whale on a bid or a market maker on the bid with 100,000. Let's see here. Oh, I don't want to go into his X, but we'll read it anyway. So imagine you're a whale on the bid or a market maker on the bid with 1,000 Bitcoin bid and a lot of bids right there at the top of the order book. 60,000. If Germany still has 40,000 Bitcoin left to sell, then the ratio play is to lower your bid until you buy the next 1,000 coins, meaning you want 39,000 BTC worth of bids above your bid. I don't know if you guys are confused with all the bids, but I'm a little confused here. You certainly don't want to be at the top of the order book, right? So you lower your bid to 55,000 and have 39,000 worth of bids above you. Now another whale is at the top of the order book, thinks the same, then lowers his bid to 54.9. This continues until the game of chicken ends. Germany sells all 50,000 Bitcoin and the known guarantee market sell pressure is eliminated. All this causes a temporary cheap Bitcoin. And that's pretty much exactly what I've been saying, right? That's exactly what I've been saying. This is a short-term temporary thing. And I think they keep saying Mt. Gox. I'm telling you guys, Mt. Gox is probably 5% of this sell-off. And I mean 5%, like 5% of the sales are people that are just being little babies and worried about a big nothing burger, right? About Mt. Gox, it's going to be pretty much nothing. But what I think is the other 95% is the actual German government selling, right? And then you have the people that are scared, or just like you said, you have these big whales, which I don't blame these whales. If you're in the process of buying thousands of Bitcoin and you know what's going on, you're watching CryptoFud channel, right? And you can see that he's basically saying, listen, yes, they've been selling off, but they still have a lot more to sell. You might drop your bid, right? You might lower your bid, or you might lower your price on the bid, right? And that's basically what this guy was saying. He's like, why the hell are you going to put a bid order at 60,000 when you could probably put it at 55, 54 and end up, being able to take advantage of that bid, at a very lot less price, compared to 60,000. Or maybe you just hold off, and just monitor the situation, which I'm sure a lot of people are still doing, right? A lot of people are probably still kind of watching, waiting from the sidelines. Maybe they reposition themselves in the last week or two, and they're kind of waiting to see if this is going to be, the bottom. Is the German government going to continue to sell? And you better believe that these people are watching the wallets. We've been monitoring it on these articles. They're watching these wallets, and they know beforehand, before they're going to actually make the sale, because they're just like what we're reading right here. As of July 4th, Germany transferred 3,000 Bitcoin in portions to Coinbase, Kraken, and Bitstamp. So we already can see whatever they're going to be. They're anticipating a sale because they're transferring from their cold wallet over to the central exchanges. Whether it's a cold or hot wallet, they didn't indicate. But the point of the story is that they currently, and it's saying here right here, given that Germany still holds a massive 40,353 Bitcoin in their reserve, currently valued at $2.2 billion, right? That's a lot of Bitcoin. That really is. I'm sorry, but that Mt. Gox stuff is it's every time I get a thought, it's like, we'll just keep reading, Crip. Well, meanwhile, it says the defunct exchange Mt. Gox transferred $2.7 billion worth of Bitcoin in preparation of the $9 billion payout process to repay creditors. So, what I was going to say is that 2.2 seems like it's a lot more than what Mt. Gox is. But if you look at the numbers, actually, Mt. Gox is $2.7 billion. But what did we already cover? We've already said this, and it's a fact that majority of that 2.7 is going into institutionals and long-term holders that are already holding on to thousands of Bitcoin, because they already made arrangements with the actual people that were holding on, or that lost money in the hack 10 years ago. They've already made agreements to where they've already paid these people off. All that's going, like 70 to 80% of the Mt. Gox refund is going into institutions and wallets that are already holding thousands of Bitcoin. So you think that they're going to get this amount and they're just going to start selling off? Chances are no. But there is going to be still a big portion of this that are going into actual traders like you and I that have been holding for the long term and didn't sell off to institutionals. And you're wondering, if you didn't catch the stream, why would they sell to institutionals? Well, these institutional people, institutional companies reached out to a lot of these people that were holding or waiting for their settlement 5-7 years ago, and basically said, listen, you have $10,000 in Mt. Gox, right? This case is going to drag on for a long time. Remember, we're talking, this is them reaching out to them 5-10 years ago, and they're like, this case is going to last a long time. Why don't you, that 10,000, we'll give you 6,500 right now. We'll give you 6,500 right now, and you can move on, right? And then what they do is the institutional will get the $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. That's why these people, not all of them, but a lot of them were like, you know what? Screw it. This was 10 years ago. They're like, screw it. Let me just get 60, 70% of my money back, and I'll just freaking move on. I don't have to wait 10 years or longer, because they didn't really have a time frame when it was going to go through. But it literally took 10 years for them, for Mt. Gox and everything to go through, and for them to finally start, paying back everybody that lost money, right? So like I told you guys, you know, once this Germany stuff ends, I mean, hopefully something else doesn't pop up right after that. But for the most part, that is what's causing the sell pressure for right now. And I, like I said, I feel like a broken record just having to keep saying it over and over, right? Because we've been talking about this for the last like freaking week, you know, if not longer. I don't even know anymore, but it just feels like every day it's just like it's either political or it's freaking Mount Gox in the Germany government, right? So, and I'm sure after they're done selling off or whatever the hell they do, there's going to be something else, right? So, but just to finish the article off, it marks the exchange's first significant transaction since May, following several smaller test transactions on Wednesday. Bitcoin shed 7% of its value late Thursday, sending prices to the lowest point in 4 months, to 53,550 and sparking a flurry of liquidations across the crypto market. Let's see here. Bitcoin sell-off pressure to ease. So amidst the high tension, observers are speculating where Bitcoin's prices could be heading next. Some predict that the market conditions may ease only when selling pressure from Mt. Gox in Germany subsides. Obviously, right? I mean, that's the only thing that's causing us to have a sell-off. So once that kind of figures out what it's doing and they get past, like I was telling you guys yesterday, and I forgot, the guy didn't have a YouTube live today, but I forgot who the YouTuber is, but I am going to call him out here soon. I'm sure a lot of you guys know him. I don't remember his exact name, but he was basically, he worded it perfectly, right? And basically what he said was that he was just hoping that the German government, if they are planning on selling all of it, just freaking sell it all. Just rip the damn Band-Aid off, sell it all, right? Because in the end, it'll be nothing but perfect for us because we'll be able to take advantage of that massive dip. Let's say Bitcoin drops down to 40K, alts will be decimated, but you guys can see after, you know, the week that we've had, alts are already starting to retrace, right? If you think about it, I mean, alts are starting to retrace. Yes, they are down technically in the last month, but if you can see, they are slowly but surely retracing, and that's exactly what's going to happen because we're still in a bull market, guys. We're still in a bull market. We're just going through, in the mix of bull markets, shit happens, right? Where we're not going to continuously move up in a bull market. I know everything you were sold on, thinking that the bull market was it was nothing but clear skies and upward movement every freaking day. It's not like that, guys. It is like that for a big chunk of it, right? And they call it a bull market because if you look back and you zoom out and you look at this period of time, the market did do nothing but move up. But if you zoom in, there was plenty of times where we saw, you know, downward moves. We saw those 20-30% retracements, you know, but they were small, brief, and the market moves on, right? So what I'm saying is I'm agreeing with this other YouTuber when he was saying that he hopes that they do this because it'll be nothing but awesome for everybody that's in crypto that's not scared because we're all going to be able to get, you know, whatever you're looking for at such a fraction of a price. And it'll usually bring a nice V-shaped recovery where they sell off, right? We do the drop, and then we eventually we probably very quickly start moving back up to where we were at because all of retail and even the ETFs and the big institutions are taking advantage of these buys because we know where crypto's headed. We know what we got, you know, and there's nothing that's going to stop this bull market, right? Well, I'm not going to say nothing because there are some things that could happen, you know, in the world that could stop us, derail us from being, you know, getting to where we're going to get. But I don't see any of that for seeing happening. But, you know, you never know, right? I swear this is a pear. It tastes like freaking sour apple, but it's really good. It's really good. Cocktoshi in the house. What's going on, gang? What's going on, brother? So yeah, I'm not even gonna get into it anymore. But let me see here. There was something else I did want to pull up. I don't know if it's on this one. What is going on, guys? Quiet as hell. Good God. Very quiet today. I'm wondering if I should still do my Saturday streams. Everybody's like asleep. You know, it's like, what is going on, guys? I'm just kidding. I'll always be here. I don't care if nobody's here. I'm still going to stream. We're still going to be doing this. Take it or leave it. I was looking at NFK. We're not doing bad today, guys. Liquidity is down like crazy. I mean, not liquidity. The volume is down like crazy, but our liquidity's up. Our market cap, we're back up above 100,000, and we're up 5.5% for the 24 hours. So we're looking good, guys. Make sure if you haven't already, check out NFK. Remember, you guys see where we're at. I said this, said it over and over. I'm telling you, this is the time right here. Accumulate if you're able to. Let's check it out. Milady. Milady's up about 6.77%. Nothing too crazy. Looking at the big movers, Jasmy's probably going to be on our watch list. The biggest mover for today, up 15%. Nice bounce right here at the 618. Remember, yesterday I was calling this out. I was like, Jasmy's right here, where it already had bounced off the 618. And you can see that the 618 was around 1.9 cents, and boom, this thing is literally running up right now. What else? Miro isn't doing too bad. Miro bounced somewhere around 8.5 cents, and you can see it has run up so far a little bit past 10 cents. I'm trying to see here. Looks like it broke above a pivotal spot of some resistance. Not calling it support yet, but you can see that it has run up, and it is trying to find that support at around the 10.6 cents, somewhere around there. So Miro doesn't look bad. Was calling that out. ICP, you guys remember I said I've been accumulating some ICP. ICP's up. Looks like it's up about 7.7% right now. Arbitrum, another one that I was calling out, up 10%. And it really doesn't even matter about calling out, because you could have called out any project as of yesterday, right? Everything was down very, very much. So anything right now that you look at, you can be like, oh, I called this out. It's up 5%. Everything is up 5 to 10% right now, right? So, I mean, it's not even that about calling out. It's just pointing a lot of these projects when they were at the bottom and where they're at right now. A lot of them have retraced. Looking at Milady particularly, if you were able to catch that bottom, she's already retraced 31.7% just in the last like 2 or 3 days. So this is why I love Milady, because especially when Milady has these like dramatic crashes, you know almost certain that this thing is going to probably bounce like 50%. And that's what we see every time. Every freaking time. I don't know if you guys remember this epic drop right here. This drop right here was a 48% drop. And it was so brief and swift. But man, if you were able to catch it, it was like a 35% bounce, like immediately. Even though it did continue to move down, you know, after the next few weeks. But if you were able to just catch that move right there, that dramatic drop, and then sell off at around 30% gain, that was within like 5 to 10 minutes. That thing literally did that. And the reason, and I always tell you guys, is because Milady's market cap is so small, right? So small. You have a lot of people watching, you know, the project. So whenever you see those dramatic drops, a lot of people will jump in, whether they're in for the short term or long term. They still will jump in and help that price recover, you know, at usually 30 to 40 to 50% on, depending on how big the drop is. So another article I wanted to check out, crypto crash pushes fear and greed index to the lowest since Bitcoin's traded at 17,000 in early 2023. So the widely followed sentiment metric hit extreme greed levels earlier in March, near the local top of the crypto market, but now is pushing its limits to the opposite direction. So the crypto fear and greed index is a popular contrarian indicator to buy and sell, but there could be further downside for Bitcoin's price, analysts warned. Sees Bitcoin sales by the German and the U.S. governments and sell pressure from Mt. Gox users refund create multi-billion-dollar overhang. Bitcoin could sink to 50,000 during historical weak months ahead, but the Fed interest rate cut in September could ignite a rally. Been literally calling all this. So crypto investor sentiment created to the most negative level since the tail end of 2022. Crypto winter as Bitcoin's plunged below 54,000, pulled down the digital asset markets. the widely followed crypto and fear index. And real quick, I want to bring up fear and greed index. Basically, a lot of people use this to trade. And we'll pull it up here. So what they'll do is with the fear and greed index right here. So basically, what it is that this kind of rates, the sentiment in the market, right? How are people feeling right now? We're in a fearish kind of a mode, right? People are fearing that we're going to be dropping down even more. You guys remember just a few months ago, we were literally right there at that extreme greed, right there at that extreme greed. So what I'm getting to is usually people, not a lot, but a lot of, I want to say a lot, but not, majority of the market does not, but there are some big traders that'll use this as an indicator to buy and sell, right? So right now that we've got into fear, usually it means it's a good time to buy, and then obviously vice versa. If we're in the extreme greed, it's usually a good time to sell. Now, these aren't going to be top and bottom indicators per se, but usually if you do use this fear and greed index, it usually, I would say 95% of the time, will play out to the advantage, right? To where you can buy in right now, as long as you have patience, you can sell. It might take a year down the road for us to get into the greed, but if you were to do something like that, you would sell for a profit majority of the time. So Koktoshi said, I got my Milady average way down there, ready for massive gains. Hell yeah, bro. That's what it's all about, is catching those dips, right? So fear and greed, like I said, not a lot, but you'll have a handful of people that are using this as some kind of an indicator to buy and sell. I personally don't use it to buy and sell, but I keep an eye on it, right? I do keep an eye on it because, like I said, it is a big indicator, particularly for the greed. When we're like in the extreme greed, it usually will get you, it'll kind of give you an indicator that we maybe might not be at the top, but we're damn near getting close to it usually. Even if it's a short-term top or whatever the case is, it usually means, like, you can look at it as market being overbought or oversold. Right now, you can see that the market technically in fear would be over. It's almost like the RSI. It's oversold right now, right? So it wouldn't be a good time for you to be buying in, right? You want to kind of go against the what am I saying here? You're going against the current, right? Current being majority of the retail buyers and sellers that get scared and sell for losses, and then they buy high, right? Same people that you see all over online and Facebook groups, and they're like, I just bought in, it's going to continue to dip, right? And stuff like that. And it's just like, it's funny, right? Because it feels like sometimes you do that, but it's like these people, they don't realize, it's like, well, then change your strategy up, dude. It's like, my God, it's crazy. You could easily make so much money with crypto, but it's like a lot of people, they use so much emotions to buy and sell, and then it's like they impulse buy and they impulse sell, right? They don't think about it. They just like they let everything else around them kind of dictate their strategies and stuff like that, and that's why they end up making bad decisions, So I don't really feel bad for them. Just, you gotta learn. You gotta learn from your mistakes if you're smart. But yeah, so this article is gonna dip right into basically everything we've already talked about. I don't really want to talk about Germany anymore. I'm over it. We will continue to cover it. Hopefully, in the next few days, we will be talking about them selling off everything, right? Let's see here. I wanted to just check out. This came out yesterday, but maybe so analyst targets $47,000 as Bitcoin's next bottom after Mt. Gox's dump. So crypto quant Arthur Adele suggests that this week that 47,000 represents a 25% discount from the average purchase price of short-term Bitcoin holders. This figure is based off of average price at which all coins were moved within the past 30 days. So he's basically just giving us some indicators that he thinks that Bitcoin possibly at the end of Mt. Gox, and most likely, I'm sure if we read into it, Germany as well, that Bitcoin probably could bottom out somewhere around the mid 40s, right? And that's what I was saying. I think if Mt. Gox, not really Mt. Gox, but Germany just sold everything right now, if you throw in on top of scared sellers that are going to be panic selling as well, we would probably be somewhere around mid 40s to bottom 40s, right? And this is why I keep telling you guys to be cautious, right? Eat those dips up, but don't put all your, don't put everything into one basket. And what I mean by that is, like, if you're buying, right now, I wouldn't be just using all your dry powder at once. I would be slowly but surely just buying the dips. When you see it getting a dramatic dip, not financial advice. What I'm doing is just adding to the bag, right? On whatever particular projects. I still am waiting for a couple projects that I didn't, necessarily pull the trigger on. And it's because they didn't hit my levels that I was looking for, right? You guys remember yesterday I was talking about ordinals. Ordinals is like my next thing that I am like waking up and I'm checking the charts, watching, right? We did drop down to, if I would have caught it at this bottom at the 25, I probably would have bought in or started buying in, but I didn't. By the time I started really paying attention, it was already at like the 27. So, and that was pretty much yesterday. It stayed around that area. Now it is having somewhat of a little bit of a move up as the whole market is slightly moving up. But like I keep telling you guys, things can easily continue to move down as we get into this week coming up. So, what's going on, Old? What's going on? Old's in the house. Not doing bad on the likes. I know we have a small crowd in today. What's going on? Maybe I need to start streaming a little bit later on the weekends. We can continue to do. I know I stream later during the week. Maybe we'll have to do that during the weekends as well. The reason why I stream early on the weekends, it's early where I'm at, is because I usually have plans for the weekend and stuff like that. And if I do have plans, then I won't end up streaming, right? I want to make sure we cover what we need to cover. Looking at the weekly on the bubbles, you guys can see. You guys can see it. Nothing but a sea of red. Nothing but a sea of red. Let's look at what Cronos is doing nowadays. I know Cronos is not doing the best. Flip, what's going on, bro? Flip's in the house. Looking at the Cronos market for today, nothing really too crazy. Mary, kind of hovering. I swear it's like one day we look at Mary and it's down 10, 20%, and then you come back and it's up 10 or 15%. What's going on, Brian? It's like back and forth for Mary. So yeah, it's up 11%, but like I said, tomorrow we'll come back and it'll be down 10%. Crow with knife. What's going on, my people with Crow with knife? What's going on? Damn, I didn't realize Crow dropped down to some of these levels. Holy crap. Same exact thing, guys. My gosh, I called this out. When they were talking about them getting listed onto, what was it, Gate.io, I think it was, or whatever. I don't even remember anymore. But, it's just been it's been the same trend for call. Like I said, short term, bearish. Long term, I think this project's going to do really well. When we're 6 months down the road and we're talking about DeFi, I really do think that call is going to be, it already is, but I'm telling you, it's going to probably, rip $500+ million market cap is what I anticipate. I really do plan on maybe grabbing some call, but I'm waiting to see if maybe there's like a dramatic drop. But you can see for the most part, we keep bouncing at some of these levels and finding support. What that indicates is that there is people that are coming in short term, just buying the rumor and selling the news type of thing. But then you have a majority of these people that are holding, right? They're holding for long term. A lot of these people are holding long term and they're not selling off. If that was the case, then you would see a dramatic drop back down to some of these levels. We have not got anywhere near those levels, and we have been just steadily holding, if not making slightly higher lows as we continue to move down the road. So, call, like I said, short term, slightly bearish. Long term, I think call is going to be just the cream of the crop when you talk about Cronos and the meme coins. Now, things can change on that, right? Next week we could have a new meme coin that drops and takes all the hype, and you can see people moving, allocating a lot of their portfolios from call over to something else. Obviously, we don't know if that's going to happen or anything like that. I'm just saying with DeFi, it easily can happen like that, and especially when you're talking about Cronos, that right now the volume is only at $3 million for 24 hours. There's not a lot of money going around in the Cronos space for DeFi, right? So if something comes out and is this big new shiny meme coin, it's going to take from all these other projects that are kind of holding by a thread right now, so it easily can switch over right now, as far as being top meme coin. Gina said, will you check MOG? Yep, we pulled up MOG yesterday. You weren't, I don't know if you were here or if you watched after the fact. So MOG honestly doing the same thing that a lot of the projects are doing. One thing that was good with MOG versus a lot of other projects, if you look at a lot of other projects, they were already down, right? A lot of projects were already down in the last few weeks, the last few months. They've been kind of, just slowly moving down. MOG actually was up, making all-time highs, and then we saw this crash. So given that MOG was at all-time highs and we crashed, it's still holding relatively well, right? It's still holding relatively well compared to a lot of other projects. The market cap's probably at like 400 or 500 million still. Yep, 500 million. So I mean, it's holding really well. If you look at the for the month, it's technically up 10% for the month. If you look at something like Milady for the month, it's going to be down, I would imagine, because it was already down, right? So you look at Milady for the month is down 50%, right? You look at MOG again for the month, it's up, and that's only because now Milady's down 50%. If you look at a lot of projects, they're all down. Even Solana's down probably 20 or 30% for the month. But you look at MOG, it's technically up for the month 10%, and it's because it had a recent massive run up, making all-time highs. So with that being said, you can see that MOG came down and bounced at a beautiful spot. Let me see here. Bounced right here at the 0.5. I mean, I couldn't have made that out any better. Like, it literally bounced beautifully at the 0.5, and you can see it has been retracing for now, right? So, and really the whole market is kind of looking how MOG looks right now at that slight V shape. MOG's up 38% from that drop, so definitely MOG's doing good. I will say that. I will say MOG's doing good. Gina, you were holding, it stinks because I know you were asking last week, you're like, should I sell? And we were talking about the ETFs coming, and we were like, I would, and I was like, not financial advice, but I would, I was like, I would probably wait for this ETFs, and then boom, we see this big drop because of the freaking German government and stuff, and Mt. Gox. So, it is what it is. I'm sure you're probably looking back like, damn, if I would have sold, and then maybe caught this bottom, which it would have been so hard for you to even do that. But if you were able to make some crazy plays like that, same liquidity, you probably could have doubled your portfolio or doubled your position on MOG. But sometimes you got to just, with all that moving around, the odds of you catching the top, catching the bottom, it's probably wouldn't have worked out like that, right? It's a lot easier said than done. So, but MOG does look good. It does look good. I don't know how I'm feeling about these high noons. They're pretty good, but they're sweet as hell. They're real sweet. Gina said, I got some good buys on Win. Nice. Not even going to do the joke. I'm not going to do the normal joke. We're just going to keep it serious today. Because I was told from a fellow person on here that my jokes are corny. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to keep it. We're going to keep it, just business, right? Not even going to throw out those funny, I thought were funny jokes, but can't please everybody, guys. Just can't please everybody. Yeah, so look, it came back down like we were talking about. Remember, we were talking about when? We were talking about it, and I remember you brought it up, and it was coming up towards the 786. And I was like, if you have patience, you might actually catch, because I think it was already kind of curving. It didn't bounce exactly at the 786, but you can see that it kind of topped out. And I remember I was like, if you can have patience, you might be able to catch this somewhere down here, bouncing back. Now, like I told you, we don't want to continue to see when bouncing off this spot, because it's going to eventually break towards the downside. This is at the 87, 88 area right there. So, but definitely a good spot to be dollar cost averaging in. And obviously, if it did break anything below, you can see historically speaking for this project, it's been nothing but a plus, right? If you were able to buy anything below this this spot that's holding for some support as of now. So, but you better believe if it does break, depending on how fast it breaks and how long it stays below this support level, it'll probably end up being a resistance level on its way back up. So, but nothing to talk about right now. Doesn't look bad at all as far as catching that spot for a good spot now to buy in. Now, technically from the bottom, it's up 26%. That kind of points out MOG is up 38% from its bottom. You can see wins at 26%, and a lot of these projects are around the same thing, about 20 to 30%. MOG is up almost 40% on his drop, which is like I said, MOG's been coming out looking hot. Flip said, sorry if I'm being annoying, but if there's any updates on Billy and Jason? Let's pull it up, bro. You're not being annoying, bro. I appreciate you coming in and asking questions, man. Oh, look how cute he is. Bro, Billy, Flip, every freaking time we pull up this chart, it's new all-time highs, bro. It's new all-time highs. Thank you for the $20, bro. My boy came through again. And I know now, I know Flip's throwing out those 20s like nothing, because my boy, he's just keeping his money in Billy, and every freaking day it just keeps moving up. Thank you so much, dude, for the $20 super chat, bro. I really do appreciate that. Bro, I don't mean to sound so hype on this project, but every freaking time we pull this project up, which is every day, this thing has made new all-time highs, right? Now, the trend, it has moved down a little bit. Yesterday, remember, it was in the top 10. It is still around the top 20 as far as trending, but the volume still at $21+ million, made all-time highs, and you already know what I'm going to say on this. For now, and I keep telling you, dude, just keep watching this project like crazy, because it will eventually, it's going to hit a spot. It might not be anytime soon, but it is going to eventually hit a spot where it's going to hit its head, and it's going to start coming back down. Now, I'm not saying it's going to come crashing, but you know how it works, Flip. We're eventually going to hit a spot where it's not going to be able to break for probably a long time. You want to make sure you catch somewhere around that spot and take your profits. So you already know what I'm going to say. All-time high just ran up to the 20 cents. This is giving me, I'm telling you, this is giving me dog with hat vibes. It's really what it's giving me. This thing has just been steadily and surely moving up. And it's not like it's just like a straight line up. It's how you want to see it. Coming up and bouncing off the trend, making highs, bouncing back, finding support on the trend, making a new high, coming back, bouncing off the trend. We can't even, map out this trend. I mean, it's still in play, obviously, and I'll keep it on here, move the fib retracement a little bit more. But you can see, I mean, this thing since of yesterday, I think it was, the 4th, the 5th, yesterday, this thing shot the hell up since after the stream yesterday. So definitely a good buy. I told you this yesterday, bro. I think that this project is a legit project. Obviously, I think this project, if it can continue to do what it's doing as far as just staying relevant, I think this project's going to continue to make highs. Like I keep saying, though, I would be watching it like crazy, because once this thing does break below the 236, and I don't mean just briefly, because you can see it has technically, we ran up, it broke below, ran up, made all-time highs, it broke below again, and look, it's trying to find that support, which is very bullish at the 236. So this could run all the way down. This could run technically all the way down to the 382 right here at around 12-13 cents, and still bounce off the trend line and still be very bullish, right? I think the trend line in the 382 is going to be my line in the sand, though, as far as if I was in my profits and stuff like that. If it broke below the 382, I probably would be looking to reposition myself, aka take my profits. And if you're long term on this project, maybe watch for some kind of a retracement and then eat up the dip if it does come, right? So that's pretty much what I would say, Flip. Keep an eye out. Right now, 236. We want to keep that 236 where it looks like it's bouncing for right now. If we can stay above the 236, tomorrow is going to be the same thing. I'm going to be coming here and I'm going to be like, holy crap, new all-time highs. If it breaks below, it'd still be okay, but the 382 is going to be the line in the sand, pretty much where this trend line is pretty much at, which meets right at the 382 at around the 13 cents is what I would call the line on the sand as far as this project staying bullish for right now, but definitely looks absolutely crazy, dude. Flip said it's going to do a dog with hat. Bro, it's giving me those dog with hat vibes. It really is. Dog with hat came out like this. Now, we could pull up dog with hat's chart, and it did have times where it was like, it looked like this beautifully, and then it did retrace, and then it went up, made new all-time highs, so that's why, you have two different strategies you can play here. You can just hold on and say, screw it, I'm not even going to freaking sit here and monitor the charts every day, and I'll just let it play out. That's one scenario. Or, like I said, you can do what I was saying earlier, and obviously not financial advice, but if you're monitoring the charts and you want to maximize your profitability, looking, and keep an eye on it. If it comes down to the 382, this is where my line in the sand would be for me to reposition, basically sell off and wait to see if it's going to bounce. Even if it just drops 10-20%, you could use the same liquidity and literally buy right back in and have 20% more of this project as it finds some kind of a bottom and bounces back up. So a little bit more risky on that one. Obviously, the just hold and not look at the project would be probably the easiest, but some of us like to live on the edge, and get that excitement in. So we'll see how it plays out, but project looks good, bro. It does. Old said, dang, I almost threw in $100 yesterday. Bro, I'm telling you, this project's been killing it. It really has. Let's check out Jason. Let's see how. Now, remember, I haven't looked at Jason's chart, but remember, Jason, yesterday, I was telling you, I wasn't, sold on the project. I wasn't necessarily sold on it. Now, it does look like it's up 13% from yesterday, so doesn't look bad, but you can see the trend line that we did put. You can see it has basically bounced off the trend line so far. It's actually retesting it as we speak right now. So from yesterday, it has come up about 14%, so it doesn't look bad. It looks like it's still trying to stay relevant, right? But you can see this thing isn't trending as far as on the top trending projects for Solana. And you don't necessarily need to be trending. I'm just saying for these big major projects that are like multi-million dollars, for them to stay, up there and really keep that momentum going, it's nothing but a plus to be at the front page of Deck Screener, right? When you pull it up, your top 10, top 20, a lot of new investors, when they come in, they're just pulling up the Deck Screener, they're looking up Solana, and they're looking at the top 20, projects, and they're kind of figuring out what they want to buy in on, right? So that's why I always say it's nothing but a plus. You could easily not be on the top 20 at all and still be absolutely ripping and killing it. So for this project, like I said yesterday, I'm not necessarily, it definitely is not no damn Billy, right? Definitely not no damn Billy, but I do like to see that it has found a bottom at around that 53 mark that we have right here, and it has retraced somewhat, still holding the trend line valuable right now. If it does break above the trend, then we might be talking about some kind of a move towards the upside, and it's going to have a rough time, moving towards the upside, in my opinion, just because, this thing could break out of the trend and possibly come up to the 618 and get rejected, right? This thing could break out of the trend and come up and hit its head at the 0.5, which you can see has been a spot as some major resistance for this project. So I would basically, I would obviously keep my eye on this project, hope for the best as far as this breaking out of this trend line, and I would look at some pivotal spots like the 618, a big spot for some resistance, and then the next spot right here at the 0.5, that's going to be your next spot that's going to be some major resistance. If this thing breaks above the 0.5, I'm thinking that this could actually start ripping and start, I don't know about all-time highs, but you could see a nice little run coming out for this project. But still not going to go up there, not going to say any of that stuff yet. It still needs to break at least that trend line in the 618 before we start talking bullishness on this project. So if you're long-term, if you're long-term right now, I don't even know if I would be buying in necessarily right this second, just because it is up, 10, 12% in the last, 24 hours. I would maybe wait to see if it's going to maybe have some kind of a retracement, at least around the 786 or below. I think would be a good spot to be accumulating the project if you're long-term. So, but definitely no Billy. This is no Billy flip. Not at all. Doesn't have a cute little dog, and that's why that chart's running straight up, because that little dog is so freaking cute. Right? Everybody that sees that chart that likes dogs or likes animals, they see that damn dog and they're like, "Aw, all right, I'm gonna throw $100 into this." Right? They should have something on there like every dollar you spend, we're gonna give 10% to Billy, and we're gonna build him a badass home, or people would be flood money into that. Flip, thank you again for the $20 super chat, bro. I really do appreciate the support for the channel, dude. I really do. Thank you so much, man, and good luck with those investments. Gina, Billy's on. I don't know if it was answered already. It's on Solana. Flip said, thanks, bro. Check out Landlord. Yeah, Landlord, I mean, you can see at the top of the deck screener, Landlord's been like the #1 trending project, I think. Yeah, it's still #1. This thing has been #1 for like the last week. This thing has been running. And what's crazy is it's #1, but Billy is technically, if you look at the volume, Billy's doing over double the volume on this project. Now, volume's not everything. You can see this thing is up 230%. So, I mean, it looks good. It's been out for about 4 days, so it's still got those newbie gain Solana's kind of gains going. So, I don't know. For this project, I would say, personally, not financial advice, I would personally be very cautious. I think the project has been running great. But what I would say is that this project has been running like crazy, right, in the last 4 days. You guys know how these projects do. It's going to have that initial run, and then it's going to have that initial retracement, So be very cautious buying in, particularly right now, because you're going to be buying in on a project that's up technically probably 500+% in the last 4 days. So I'd be very cautious with this project. Flip said he cashed out a 2x on Jason. Nice. And then going back into more Billy. Hell yeah. Mog. Gina, no problem for checking Mog and Win. I got you, girl. I got you. Make sure you guys slap those likes if you haven't already. Oh, Flip's over here. That's why he's throwing out them 20s like crazy. My boy's over there 2xing all his money all day. Damn. Good job, buddy. It's never a bad thing to 2x your money. That's why people get into such greed when they're like, I need 100x, which obviously we all want 100x, but if you're sitting here and you're 2xing your money and you're doing it over and over, dude, bro, even if it's like $100, you're 2xing, 100 turns into 200, 200 turns into 4, whatever the case is, it's always, you're doing something right if you're 2xing your money, right? I appreciate that, Flip. I really do appreciate you, bro. I know I said it over and over, but I do. Thank you so much again, man. Oh, yeah. But yeah, bro, and broettes, as far as like the market, we keep, for right now, for Bitcoin, we keep getting rejected for, as of right now, right at the 58,000, technically right where our level is too. Isn't that crazy that we have marked the 57,938 to be exact? Isn't that crazy how we find these levels? And it literally, like, you can see the candle, we had the wick come up and break above, obviously, the 58,000, but you can see where the actual candle is. It's hitting its head exactly where we've marked some of our levels, right? So for right now, I mean, it's good to see that we're up. You know, I'm not necessarily sold on us, this pump being it, and we're running back up to 70K or anything like that. So like I said, just be cautious. I'm keeping an eye on the market, obviously, and I'm looking to find, waiting to just keep accumulating on a lot of these projects that I particularly been buying in on. Particularly the project that I haven't been able to get my hands on, Ordinals. I'm telling you guys, mark my words, I'm getting myself Ordinals, and I'm not talking about a little bag. I'm getting an enormous bag, and I'm getting it for the price that I want. So mark my words. It'll happen here soon. Uh-oh, who's spamming? What's going on? Alpha, if I pronounce your name correctly. Yeah, bro, I don't mind. Yeah, so Jasmy, bro, we're pretty pro Jasmy around here. So definitely agree with you. He was saying Sony invested $300 million in Jasmy coin. Definitely, we've been covering Jasmy for a while, but obviously since a lot of this great news that's come out in the last few months on Jasmy, so definitely support Jasmy on the channel for sure. Jasmy, we were just covering it not too long ago. Well, we were covering it earlier, but we were really covering that, how it came down and bounced off the 618. Beautiful. Anything under 2 cents, I was telling you guys this yesterday, that I was particularly looking to buy in on Jasmy. I didn't catch this bottom, but obviously you can see a beautiful V-shaped recovery for Jasmy. I think Jasmy, I keep telling you guys, honestly, Jasmy is going to be nothing but a freaking, just a menace in the bull run. I think the Jasmy is going to absolutely kill it. It already has been. And watch how fast the market starts to recover. Watch how fast Jasmy just runs right back up to 3 cents, 3+ cents, easily. Flip said, Crip, when are you buying Myro? Bro, you know what? I had a decision to make the other, like yesterday or 2 days ago when we finally found the bottom. Now, you guys remember I've been talking about buying in on Myro under 10 cents, right? Well, I didn't necessarily do what I said I was going to do. I had been buying in on something else. I usually do that where I get instead of me buying like 5 different things at once, I usually will dedicate to like 1 or 2 different things, right? And yesterday or the last 2 days, I wanted, freaking thing's giving me not hiccups, but I keep burping. I wanted to get my bag back of ICP, right? There's something that I had a goal, and I pretty much picked up like 70% of my bag on this last dip from what I sold off on when it hit $10. So that was like something that I was just like focused on when we were dipping. I was paying attention to Myro, but I was like, if I'm going to put anything tomorrow, I was like, I'm just going to buy more ICP for right now. If you really look, yes, I do think that Myro probably, in gain-wise, is probably going to do better because the market cap's so low, right? And if you can get Myro at a good price, anything pretty much under this 10 cent mark, I think, like you said, Flip, probably an easy 10x, right? But like I said, I get fixated on not wanting to buy 20 different projects and kind of divide the money so thinly across the board that I like to basically just focus on a few projects and just get big bags of them, right? So with that being said, ICP was a big goal that I wanted to grab. I didn't even get as much as I really wanted to yet. Like I said, I'm hoping that this dip isn't over with. If it is, I'll be okay, right? I'll be okay. I was able to at least buy a big bag of ICP, but I do want to get more. And then, like I said, Myro is on that like next kind of list for meme coins that I want to start accumulating again. So if you were able to catch that dip, anything below 10 cents, like I already told you guys, I think that's going to be a beautiful spot. And I think long term, could be even short term, This is going to play out pretty well as far as some solid gains. And I've been telling you, and I've been telling everybody, Flip, on the channel, I think that Myro is going to get to $1 easily. I think Myro will easily get to $1. Old said he sold 90% of his Myro for Hoppy. Shad, what's going on? Said any BONK update. As far as updates, I can give you some price updates. I can give you some price updates. So BONK right now is technically up about 6.5%. Obviously, kind of looks like the rest of the market as far as the V-shaped recovery. One thing I will say about BONK that I do see is BONK is over its 200-day moving average. A lot of projects right now, other than maybe Bitcoin, are technically below their 200-day moving average. And we'll pull up a couple projects. I think Solana just broke above its 200-day today, right? But if you really look at a lot of different like meme coins, Myro that we just pulled up, Myro's 200 days right here. Myro's still far below its 200-day moving average. If you look up Milady's 200-day moving average, it's far below its 200-day moving average, right? But if you look at BONK is above its 200-day moving average, which gives me that kind of that vibe that that BONK is not saying that Myro and Milady are not strong meme coins. They just obviously have very small market caps, so their price drops are going to be more dramatic. BONK really held pretty strong, and I'm sure if we go and look at PEPE, it's the same story. It's above its 200-day, right? Holding very strong. So with BONK, what I'll say as far as price-wise, you can see that it has come up since this drop, has come up and hit its head. I believe this is the 0.5 fib. No, that's the 618. So it's bouncing, it's basically hitting its head on the 618 right now. That's going to be around that 23, 24 level. So, I mean, as long as it stays above the 200-day, I think it's definitely still bullish. What I would say as far as if you're looking to accumulate, anything below the 200-day moving average, historically speaking, looks like it's a good buy for BONK. The last time it's been below its 200-day was pretty much when it first dropped back in 2023 in October. So this brief moment where it dropped below, was probably some good buy-ins as far as accumulation for BONK. So, but BONK, honestly, strong project. Same thing with PEPE. Look at PEPE. Didn't even get near its freaking 200-day moving average. Didn't even get near its 200-day moving average. And the reason is, guys, is BONK's market cap it's a high market cap, right? It's well over the billion. PEPE is well into multi-billion-dollar market cap. So when you see sell-offs or even when you see buy-ins, it's going to be not as dramatic as you're going to see a Myro or a Win or a Milady, because you're talking about these projects are at like $100 million or lower, right? You're talking about PEPE, BONK. PEPE right now is probably at $3.5 billion, and BONK is probably at like a billion, I would imagine. Let's see here. So PEPE's back up above $4 billion, and BONK is at $1.5 billion. So you're talking about these projects that are 10, 20, 50 times bigger than these smaller meme coins. But you guys always know what I say. What do I think is going to have better gains when we actually are in the thick of the bull run? I'm thinking the Wins and the Myros and the Miladys are going to have better gains, right? They're not going to be the top market cap per market cap meme coin, but when we're comparing and we're looking at everything at the end of the day, when we're in the thick of the bull run, or maybe when we get past the bull run a year down the road, 2 years down the road, and we're looking back and we're like, holy crap, Milady jumped up 100x. PEPE did really good, but it went up 10x, right? Because the market cap is so freaking big. But I mean, you could have the argument, well, PEPE's already had a massive run, right? Since when PEPE dropped a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, it had already ran 1,000+%, right? But I'm comparing from like now until the thick of the bull run. If you're looking at buying in right now, I think your money would be more stable with BONK and PEPE, right? As in the memes, but I think you're going to see better gains, right? it might be a little bit more of a roller coaster ride, but you might see better gains with Myro, Milady, Win, some of these other meme coins that are relatively small per market cap, but still have big communities and are traded on major platforms. So, hope that makes sense, guys. Flip said, can you check CKB? Let's check that out, bro. All right, so you can see same thing. Like I said, I don't remember the last time we talked, but I see this trend line. It did obviously break the trend line, given the last few weeks that we've had in crypto. You can see that it has broke below the 200-day moving average. And let me see CKB. What is the market cap for this? Nervos, 400, a little over 400 million. So this is like a mid market cap that I would put in. So I mean, honestly, Flip, I know you're probably long-term on this project. Right now wouldn't be, not financial advice, my opinion, wouldn't be a bad time to be accumulating. It's below its 786. It's below, like I said, broke the trend, 200 and the 786. Probably a good buy time right now. Obviously, best would have been at this bottom right here at the 80, 84. But, I mean, it hasn't really necessarily retraced about 19%. So, still in a good probably buy zone, in my opinion, if I was long-term for this project. And then obviously for us to get back bullish, it's gonna have some hard road ahead of it, right? 786 at the 10 is gonna be a big spot, and not exactly at the 10, but the 10-3. 200 day is gonna be a big spot for some resistance. You can see it's already almost come up and hit its head multiple times. 200 day is gonna be somewhere around that 1.3 cents, and then obviously the what's this? The 618 is gonna be the next spot at the 1.6 cents. Once you break that 618, though, I think it's gonna break above and get back on this trend line, and you'll start going on a run. But for right now, not a bad time to be accumulating, in my opinion. BP in the house, what's going on, bro? Let's see here. Ricky said, I bought Jasmy at 2, 3, and 4, so it's hard for me to buy more now, but I might. Oh, yeah, I understand, bro. That's how I was with, like, Milady and a lot of other projects. Like, I was like, bro, I can't buy back in. I was like, or I can't, it's hard for me to add right now. My average is going to go up. On a lot of these projects, I was like, I just can't do it. Like, it's like an ego thing. That it's going to continue to move up, like the project. But buying right now, you're like, bro, it's going to bring my average up. Like, you just don't want to do it. It's like a mental thing, but if you can push that to the side, Ricky, and I'm not saying buy right now, but you know what I'm saying, if we do see some numbers where Jasmy breaks back down towards like the 1 cent, 1.5 cent area, I think if you put your ego to the side, wouldn't be a bad time, in my opinion, to maybe just, add to the bag, right? Maybe small increments so it doesn't affect the average too much, but long term, Jasmy's going to do good, bro. Flip said ICP is a better choice. Old said, totally agree. Long-term hold for ladies in Myro. Hell yeah. Definitely, guys. I don't know. I almost cracked open a tea. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna grab a high noon. We had from the 4th of July party. We hosted some people, and someone brought like a bunch of high noon, so I have them all in the fridge. So I was like, you know what? I'll grab a high noon. I'm the worst, bro, when it's like I have a full fridge of like drinks. I wake up sometime in the morning, I'm like looking, I'm like, ooh. I'm like, nope, it's too early. Can't do it right now. It's too early. Don't look at it. Just don't look at those cold iced teas in there. I swear I'm not an alcoholic or anything like that. I don't drink a lot, but I will have like a drink or two a day, right? So I don't know what you consider that, but I don't know what you would consider that. So let's just do a quick overrun on what we got going on, guys. So for the day, we are in the green. We're not looking too bad, right? Nice little retracement. Some of these alts are looking good. She was up freaking 17% for the day. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. You guys already know what I've been saying, right? Even before we read those articles, I said, pretty much what those articles said. Be cautious. The German government still has over $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. We don't know what their plans are, if they're going to actually just continue to sell. It is the weekend, right? So I'm sure they're whoever the smart people are that are controlling their crypto assets that are selling on freaking Kraken are probably off for the day, right? They're off for the day, laughing to their family that they freaking single-handedly brought down the market. No, I'm just kidding. I actually would like to say thank you so much because I'm able to get some of these prices. And, what a lot of people are calling for is just, if they're going to continue to sell, just freaking sell it all. Just sell it all. Let's just sell it all so that we can see a nice V-shaped recovery and we'll just move on. Obviously, we want to see this because a lot of us want to just grab those beautiful prices on a lot of these projects. So that's what, Philly just said they need to just dump the whole thing and move on. That's what I'm saying. It's like the slow bleed, I think, is going to affect the market not long term, but longer than we need to, because it's a mental thing, right? If they're slow bleeding the market, you have a lot of these people that are like real finicky, right? This is their first cycle in the market, and they're just like, and they probably don't watch Crypto FUD or any other channels that are basically telling you what the reason is why we're coming down. So they're just seeing the charts coming down and they're going to be selling off, right? And we have days like this where it moves up, they might buy back in, and then Monday comes around, the German government starts selling off again, so it's like an emotional kind of thing that I worry for, as far as not long term, but longer implements on the market, that it could be negative, right? Versus them just do a quick sell off. The market dumps. A lot of us take advantage of it. We retrace. I'm not saying we just run right up to 70K after that, but we kind of just rip the Band-Aid off fast, and then we just move on from there, like Philly said. So completely agree with you on that. BP's in this. BP's in here talking about shorts and longs. I'll jump on. Hold on. Let me see. So Gina said, did the Ethereum ETFs, did Ethereum drop the ETFs? They didn't drop yet. We were thinking it was going to be somewhere either yesterday, the day after 4th of July, but it did not drop yet. But it's almost written in stone that it's going to be sometime this month. We were thinking the first week, but it didn't go down. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's another thing too. I honestly, what if they're like waiting to drop the ETFs? They're like, you know what? With everything that's going on right now with the German, maybe they're like, let's wait, because if we drop the ETFs, we're gonna have so much sell pressure, kind of, just battling, with the ETFs, with the German government selling. Maybe they're like, let's just wait a few weeks. All these big wigs, they all talk and they know exactly what's going on. I'm sure the German government's already talking to them, saying, yeah, we're gonna probably continue to sell this for the next few weeks. So the people at ETFs are like, all right, we're waiting. We're going to put a pause for the next few weeks. Who knows? What's going on, Donald? So BP said, what's Bitcoin looking like? Was thinking about throwing a short, long in it. Which one are you throwing, bro? You going to throw both? You know what, bro? So right now, what I would say, my opinion, BP, as far as like long and short in the markets right now, I haven't even touched any leverage in probably a few weeks, given the uncertainty that's in the market right now. And I say that because like I was just explaining, you can open up a long right now thinking and the market's moving, and then Monday rolls around and there's massive sell pressures, right? As far as with the German government, stuff like that. We really don't know what's going on yet as far as what their strategy is as far as selling. So I would just be very cautious with right now leverage trading. Now, let's say a week down the road, because they're monitoring their wallets like crazy, and we get down the road and we can see, all right, they've sold 90% of what they have. That's when I would probably be saying, all right, I'm probably going to be opening up a long here, whenever we kind of get worried about that, because I honestly do believe that this sell pressure is 90% from the German government. Mt. Gox, I think, is causing uncertainty and a lot of fear, right? So it's adding on to it. But I think if it was just Mt. Gox, Bitcoin would probably be at like 65,000 probably right now, or sitting around where we were at prior to this past few weeks, somewhere around 62 to 65,000, if not higher, so I would honestly, in my opinion, bro, just be cautious. I really don't think it would be a necessarily, in my opinion, a good time to be jumping in, just because the markets are so uncertain right now. With that being said, I mean, you can see we've had a nice run. Are you going to open up a long right now? As I said, bro, I'm just on the fence right now with the leverage trading. Me personally, I'm just staying away from it. I don't want to say, do this or do that, and and then something happens. So you're throwing a long on it. All right, just be careful, bro. Maybe do something. Maybe do like small leverage, right? Not financial advice, but do something like a small leverage, like 20, 30x, so you have enough room, to kind of, maneuver if you need to. But Bitcoin just bounced. Look at this. Bitcoin, right when he said I'm going to throw a long on it, Bitcoin just jumped up to 58. So we'll see how it plays out, guys. We'll see how this plays out, because, I mean, right now, I would say, if you ask me today, yeah, I'm long. I would say a long for right now wouldn't be terrible. We know the sell pressure from the German government's not going to come for today or tomorrow, right? But Monday roll around, you better believe I'd be out of my position, just because I would not want to risk, me holding up a long on leverage, and then these people freaking start just dumping. And remember, their Monday BP starts a lot earlier than our Monday. We're over in Eastern Standard Time, or you're somewhere around Eastern. I know you're up in Canada. So I don't know where exactly your time is as far as Eastern or Central Time, but the German government, they're across the pond, so Monday's going to be like Sunday night will be Monday morning for them. So we might see, if they're going to continue to sell off, it might start tomorrow night, for us, as far as seeing what's going to happen. So Old said he's got a split. Hope everyone has an awesome weekend. Thank you, Crip, for the work you put in on your streams, bud. I appreciate that, bro. I really do appreciate that. Ricky said the dump usually lasts until the sellers run out of coins. And they haven't run out of coins, Ricky. Like I said, they have 40,300 Bitcoin left in their arsenal. That's why I keep telling you guys, I'm just kind of just watching, like, I'm not like, this is it. I'm just kind of like, what? We are at a spot right now where we're getting to these crossroads where, they could say, we're going to wait, we're going to hold off, we're not going to sell anymore, and we could, start moving up. Or they can just be like, what? We got to continue. We're funding a war over here in Europe. We got to continue to keep selling, right? So who knows what's going on? I wish there would be a little bit more transparent about it, about what's going on. So we're just going off of their wallet movement and stuff like that. So it is what it is, guys. Thank you, Gina. She said she agrees. Red Rum said, Milady, ? Milady, ? What do you question about Milady, bro? So real quick, Red, we already covered it multiple times. We'll pull it back up. Obviously, the bottom was around this 82 mark. Since then, we have bounced about 32%. Just like I keep telling you, bro, if this is long term for you right now, wouldn't be a bad time to just be accumulating, given where we're at right now. Market cap is under $100 million. I know it's rough out there, bro, but this isn't just a Milady's thing. This is a whole market. Unfortunately, like I keep telling you, and I'm so sick of saying it, not to you, but just saying the damn German government, with the sell pressure that they're causing, so I think you're getting a beautiful gift, right? You're getting a beautiful gift to buy in at a beautiful time, in my opinion. Could there be more pain? Definitely could be more pain in the market. So that's why I say just be cautious. If you're able to, on these serious dips, on the dramatic dips, is when I say is a good time to be accumulating. But other than that, like a day like today, I personally would maybe hold off. Like if you're asking me, like, am I going to add some ICP to my bag today? No, I'm not, because I'm up on ICP since we were from the bottom like 20%. Why am I going to buy in right now? I'm going to wait. That's why I was buying in and eating up that dip, at some, good buys, right? So I'm going to hold off and kind of wait to see if we're going to retrace, down to some of these levels and just start buying back in. And same thing for Milady. I would just kind of hold off for today. She's up 10% for the day. Come tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow night is really what we're going to be waiting for. That'll be the beginning of the German week, and we'll see if they're going to continue to sell off or what's going to be bringing for the sell pressure for them. So, but he said he's been accumulating. Nice. That's all you can do, bro. That's all you can do, bro. Bring your average down if you're able to, and just keep adding to the bag if it's long term. And this is for any project, right? If it's NFK, if it's Milady, Bitcoin, whatever the case is, long term, just accumulation is what I think. You don't get much of these times, right? They might feel like they come often, but they really don't. Take advantage of them. Take advantage of them. And don't let the greed set in. Take your profits when you can. When you're up like crazy, take those profits so you can keep taking advantage of these dips whenever we get them, right? But with that being said, guys, that's pretty much it. I thank you guys so much for being here today. I hope you guys have a great Saturday. Have a great Saturday. Hit me up in the Discord if you need anything. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a members only stream, and we're going to be talking about the airdrop. I was going to say airstrike. The airdrop that we are going to be having in the next few weeks, and we'll be covering some more plays as far as kind of what we covered last weekend. Some plays that I think are still some good runs that we haven't mentioned on the actual stream. We will be covering that on the members only. So if you guys are able to, make sure you guys come join us for the members only stream. And if you're not able to catch the members only stream, don't worry, because you can always rewatch it whenever you have it in your arsenal. So BP said it's 3:05 here. So you're an hour ahead of me. I put 25x long on Bitcoin. I'll be watching throughout the day. Hell yeah. Give you something to do, right? All right, guys. Have a great day, guys. I will see each and every one of you guys tomorrow. Again, thank you so much. Be safe out there. Hit me up in the Discord if you need anything. Grab some NFK. Buy the dip, guys. Let's get rich. All right, guys.